All right, good morning, Facebook. We are live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram. Hey, if you're on Facebook, I know we're just getting on. Could you just give me a thumbs up? Melissa Morse, good morning. Scott, good morning. Just let me know that the volume is good where you are at. All right, Miss Jeanette Willis, good morning. Timothy Jones, good to see you. Good to see you. You guys, I'm going to jump right in and give it about 20 or 30 more seconds. Here's the deal. I want to talk to you about something that is extremely important to what I believe as obviously it was important to Christ. It was important to Jesus as he was on earth, and that's the idea of community, right? So we're going to talk about that today. I might even break that out over a couple of days, but genuine community. Matt Gill, good morning. I haven't seen you in a while, man. It's good to see you on here. Scott Dobler, Gene Hickman. What else we've got on Instagram here? Hope all of our mothers had a beautiful time yesterday. Happy belated Mother's Day to you if we have not had a chance to connect with you. We're going to talk about community. The idea of today's teaching is this. I've titled it, Who's Got Your Back? Who's looking out for you? All right, who's got your back? And I really want you to kind of be honest and really think about your life, your individual walk as we go through this teaching. And my hope and my prayer is that if this is you, this encourages you, right? Maybe it refocuses you. Maybe you've got people in your life that you've been able to lean on and encourage and walk alongside in different seasons. Obviously, the enemy through COVID-19 has done a really good job at derailing a lot of community and a lot of the cohesiveness in the body of Christ. But my hope and my prayer is that this would be kind of a come back to the center. But I want to start off with a verse in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 12. It says, "This is a person standing alone can be attacked and defeated." A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer. Two can stand back to back and conquer. Three are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. Two can stand back to back, okay? I want you to take a moment. I want you to think about the life of Jesus here, okay? Jesus had, many of you know it, Jesus had, he had 12 disciples, okay? But he had a really good core. He had three in that inner circle, if you will. And I want you to think about that in the sense, Mr. Willis, good morning. I want you to think about that in the context of today's teaching. I want you to think about that of, listen, if we are Christ followers, you and I are Christians, that means we are Christ followers, and everything that we do should be able to, we should be able to look in this book and say, you know what? It was modeled by Jesus himself. We are following after him. We are imitating our life after who he was here on earth. And he had 12 friends. He had a circle of 12, but he had three that was his nucleus. That was his core. Those were guys who saw some of the miraculous. They saw a little bit of the nitty-gritty. They walked alongside. And so I want to ask you, who's got your back? Who's your core? And it doesn't have to be three, right? We just read about it in Ecclesiastes. It said, but two can stand back to back and conquer. Two can stand back. That means I've got your back, you've got my back. In every season, in every high, in every low, I know that I can go to battle with you. I know that I can lean on you when I need to do battle. I know that you know that you can lean on me when we need to do battle. But think about this: when you go on vacation, right? When you go on vacation, what do you do? If you're like me, you're, hey, can you watch the dog, right? Can you look after my dog? If you've gone for an extended period of time, maybe it's, hey, can you get our mail? Can you mow the yard? If you've got a really good friend, someone's going to go mow your yard in the middle of summer so you don't come back to the jungle, okay? But can you look after my home for me? And some neighborhoods even have neighborhood watches, right? We're going to watch your house. We're going to make sure nothing looks crazy. And we're very practical and we're very methodical when we leave about looking after our cars, our house, the things that are ours. But who's looking after your soul day to day? Who's there to walk with you day in and day out with your best interest at heart, right? Someone that you can trust, someone that's been proven trustworthy, someone that you know that no matter what you say, no matter what season you're walking through, good or bad, that their opinion of you doesn't change, their level of loyalty and friendship doesn't change, that They're watching out for the best interest of your soul. Who in your life defends you? And I'm not talking from a physical aspect, right? I'm not trying to get hey, you know what? Pastor Kyle said, who defends you? I got your back. Let's go fight today. That's not what I'm saying, guys. All right? Who defends you? Who prays for you? Who stands up for you? Who will stand up in a conversation for you? Who protects you? Who helps you stay on track, right? No matter who you are, you and I need people who will look out for us, who will warn us of spiritual traps, right? And you will often find those people in your church family. This is the idea of community within the church. This is what the family of God is all about. Philippians 2, chapter 4 says this: look out for one another's interest, not just for your own. Look out for one another's interest, not just for your own. And one of the reasons why that's such a problem is because the enemy's so crafty, right? The enemy's so crafty. He's just on the other line of everything to twist it, to turn it, and to sow resentment and bitterness and frustration and anger. And it says to look out for one another's interests. And part of that, it's very easy to initially look out for other people's interests, but what about when they're a little more successful? What about when they're a little more visible? What about when things are really not going as you would hope in your own personal life? Okay, and so that's one of the traps of the enemy for sure. So often, you and I are so ingrained in our personal life. We're in it. We're in the thick of it, day in and day out, that it can be difficult for you and I to see our blind spots. It can be difficult for you and I to see the areas where, for lack of a better way to put it, where we're about to run off of a cliff. And a faithful friend is going to have a different vantage point, right? It's someone who's close enough to you. It's someone who's around on a regular basis, okay? But they're going to have a different vantage point because they're not walking your life day in and day out, okay? And here's what I want to say. It's one thing to have friends. It's one thing to have a circle of friends, but a true friend is going to say, hey, listen, I love you enough. I love you enough to let you know that what I see is a problem, and here's why. And not from a judgmental, not from a condemnation standpoint, but maybe you've got something that I'm not aware of. I just want, is everything okay? Can I pray for you? Is there anything that I can listen? Can I just step into your life and pray with you? Right? Sometimes it's very difficult, guys, ladies, men. It's the same. It's very difficult to allow someone in. The fear of judgment. What are they going to think? What happens if I'm found out? I need to have it all together. I don't have it all together. Pastor AJ said something yesterday that I thought was really good. He said, I would rather you think poorly of me for something that is true than to have thought highly of me for something that is a preconceived notion that is not who I am, right? The Bible tells us that all have fallen short. You, me, and everyone in between. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. That means you're a sinner, I'm a sinner. We all have our hangups. We all have our faults. Okay, there is no perfection. The only standard is this, right? The only standard that you and I should strive for is what's in this book. And so when we eradicate the lie of the enemy of the what if I'm found out, listen, again, it's not about hey, listen, I had a huge failure, or what about the day-to-day battles, right? I don't know about you, man. Sometimes the enemy, my head becomes such a jumbled mess because of just the lies and the whisper of the enemy, right? Is that a bad thing? I don't think so, because I know there's victory in it. I know there's promises in this book. I know there's things that I can lean on. I know there's people that I can, at a moment's notice, I can text my friends, say, guys, I just need prayer today. Today is a day for whatever reason, right? And so it's not about necessarily the big memorial failures, but it's the day-to-day battle, okay? It's not about putting your stuff on social media. It's about allowing other people to get into your life, to walk in lockstep with you and encourage you and love you and pray for you, lift you up. Sometimes they're there to carry your bags for you when you can't go another step further, and other days they're there to just propel you, saying you can do it, you got this, okay? There are going to be a few lies, right? And well, let me back up. We talk about COVID, right? COVID. And it seems like, thank God, that has run off the rails and it's becoming less and less. But the enemy at work through COVID has done a very good job at isolating the body of Christ, isolating Christians, right? But there can be a number of lies that keep us from these relationships. And we talked about, right? I can't trust anyone, or I don't need that type of relationship. I'm here. I'm in this level. I'm in this position, and I'm okay. Can I say to you, and maybe even suggest in a loving way, the second that you think you don't need a relationship in this regard, a friendship or an accountability partner, the second you don't have this and pursue it and value it the way Christ valued his inner three, you are on your way to a great crisis in your life. Okay. And here's why. We talked about it earlier. In our own eyes, in our own mind, we can rationalize a lot of things. We're also blind to a lot of things because we're so far ingrained in our day-to-day life. You say, well, okay, Pastor Kyle, that's great. But how do I, where do I don't even know where to look for this type of friendship. I value the idea of an accountability partner. I value the idea of someone that, man, I can really do life with. First thing I want to say is this: be the friend that you want to have. Okay. You can't just put out a Craigslist. I don't know, Craigslist is around. You can't put out a Facebook marketplace posting like in search of a friend or best offer. Okay. That's not what this is about. But be the friend to someone, be the friend to the people in your life that you wish you could have, and then pray that will put people in your midst that he would grow healthy relationship with. All right. I've got a list of my prayer agenda. Okay. Every day, this is my prayer agenda. One of my prayer agendas is over friendships that I have, Lord, that you would use it, that you would bless it, that you would grow and challenge me through it, and vice versa. And listen, I don't say that to, hey, look at me. What I'm saying is you have to be very intentional. If this is something that you want to pursue, if this is something you place value of, why not go to the source? He's the source of all things. Scripture says that every good and perfect gift comes from above. Then, Lord, I'm praying that you would put friendships in my life that can walk alongside me and vice versa. Okay? You have an enemy who wants to destroy you. We know that. For the enemy comes to what? Steal, kill, and destroy. But I have come that you may have life and have it abundantly, have it to the fullest, right? Before you wake up, I want you to catch this, okay? Before you wake up, Satan is already thinking about how to defeat you in everyday life, how to defeat you with temptations, how to defeat you with trials, how to defeat you with detours and dead ends and disappointments. He's fighting with an arsenal that's not fair, but he's going to bring back the hurts and the habits and all the hangups, okay? And if you try to fight him on your own, that arsenal can leave you defeated. That arsenal can leave you defeated. And that's why this community, this idea of community is extremely important. Go back to the beginning. A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back. Two can stand back to back and conquer and say, greater is he that is in us than he that is in this world. Come at me. Listen, I may be getting knocked down. I may be get cut at the knees. I may be just absolutely shredded by what's going on, but man, we're going to stand back to back. And I know that my brother is going to intercede for me. I know that my sister is going to be there when I'm at my lowest point. We're going to stand back to back and we're going to do battle, and we are going to be victorious because the battle belongs to the Lord. You with me this morning? You have an enemy who wants to destroy you every single day. And one of the ways that you go to battle is preparing. How do you prepare? You search this out. You search for this type of relationship. Ecclesiastes 4:12. Okay, I want that to be in your mind. Community, 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 community. I want that word to rattle in your head as you jump off here today. Lord, I pray for divine relationship. God, I pray, Lord, for the friendship that could be there, that maybe needs to be nurtured. Lord, help me to be the friend to that person that I would like to be. God, I pray that you would be in our conversation. I pray that there would be an iron sharpened iron here, that I would be able to bless and encourage and strengthen this person, right? And Lord, as you lean on the Lord in this regard, watch what he does. So I want to ask you this, okay? Community is God's answer to spiritual defeat, okay? You and I, back to back, right? We're always better together. So as we leave this morning, I want you to ask yourself these questions, okay? And I want you to think about it. You don't have to, I'm not asking you to type it in the chat or anything like that, but who are the people in your life that look out for you and warn you of traps? And on the other side of that, are you that person for somebody else? Let me stop here. It's going to take effort on both sides. We all have schedules, okay? We all have different lanes that we're running in, different paces that we're running in, okay? It's going to take effort. This is not going to be a happenstance in your life. How has this person helped you recognize blind spots in your life? And I would say this, if we're just being really honest, that first or second time that someone can come and say, you know what, man, I just want you to know I'm praying for you. And this is kind of what what I see, and maybe I'm wrong, you can tell me, but listen, I love you enough to point this out. That's an uncomfortable conversation. But here's what I know. Just like going to the gym the first time, it's very wobbly, it's very awkward, it's uncomfortable the first time. The more times you do it, the more time you give someone access, the more times you give someone that trust and that responsibility, if you will, the more normal it becomes, the more strong that muscle becomes, the more strong that relationship comes. And then the Lord can really use that and take it and work something beautiful between those friends. What step can you take today? What step can you take today? Listen, this isn't on somebody else, okay? This doesn't rely on someone else. What step can you take today to protect yourself from the attack of the enemy through community? All right. Listen, I talked about it the other night in men's group. Maybe you have to reach out. Maybe you're asking that son. And listen, I know, guys, we don't do this because we're tough and this is awkward. Maybe you're making that ask. Hey, listen, you are someone that I have watched. You're someone that I've walked alongside in life, and I've seen you to be trustworthy. I've seen you to be a vault, if you will, meaning I know if I come to you with something, it stays there. It's not getting blasted. It's not getting put out in social circles. Would you walk alongside me? Would you be an accountability partner? Would you encourage me, strengthen me, speak into my life? Okay, you may have to ask that. But the other side of it is, how are you doing that? How are you being that somebody to someone else? Okay, you and I have a responsibility as well. So it's not just about me, myself, and I, right? I would be willing to bet there are people in your life that need this from you. And I want you to make that connection today. How can you do that today? How can you stand back to back with somebody so that you're conquering and not being conquered? Okay. Who's got your back? Who's got your back? Community. Okay. I want you to think about that. I pray today that this was just something, just a little nugget in the front of your head as you go get ready for work, as you're driving to work, and that this is something that really resonates with you. My prayer is that this is not just a daily devotions with Pastor Chris that Kyle does, and it just, oh, that was a great topic and on our way. My prayer is that this is a catalyst for you. Okay, so go forth and conquer. God bless you all, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Happy Monday.